I am here with Mr. Tim Van Houten, and I got your last name correct, I believe.
Perfect.
So we've been talking about how to move from doing the 15-minute call and then moving that into a 1 hour complimentary Zoom call, and some of the challenges that you've been finding in that. And so before we get to kind of the solution, whether it's leads that have come in from LinkedIn or whether it's the Facebook campaign that you do separately, what have been some of the challenges that you've experienced, not for the first 15-minute call, but for the subsequent calls?
Well, so I do a couple different lead systems. I do yours, and then I do another lead system, and the other lead system is the one where I've had most difficulties. I have a caller, so as these leads come in, I have a caller that calls them as soon as possible to try to get them on my calendar, and she's pretty good at that. The problem is that a lot of these people, when I go to call them at their time slot when they scheduled, that they don't answer, or they're just poor leads, or let's say I feel the call goes well, and I schedule the next step that I do is I have a 1 hour, what I call a discovery meeting. I'll schedule that discovery meeting, and then we send out to them a fact finder that we ask them to fill out, and somehow something breaks in that at that part. Either they don't show up to the appointment, they disappear, and then with your leads are much higher quality because we're targeting professionals. Here in Arizona, we're targeting healthcare and IT professionals. So they're professional, they're more responsible, more the kind of person that does what they say they're going to do. Mm-hmm. But every now and then I'll also have the trouble or the problem of somebody not showing up for whatever reason. So
one of the things that you and I have been talking about is how to help ensure that, whether it's the leads that come from me or whether it's this other source, is to help ensure your success, not just in that first appointment, but to increase your success in that second one, which is typically a Zoom 1 hour call. And to do a couple things. One is to ensure that they show up, right? Oh. Having them show up is half the battle.
Exactly.
Secondly, is to ensure that they come prepared and motivated to really dive into it and give you the opportunity to do proper needs discovery, via Zoom, with someone who had been a complete stranger days, weeks, months before. And so along those lines, I recommended that in order for someone to qualify for that Zoom call, that instead of just saying, hey, it's free, that you charge a $99 refundable deposit. And so when you first heard that idea, tell me what your initial thoughts and reactions were.
Well, I guess when it's coming from somebody like you, whom I respect, I don't doubt that it works, but I might doubt myself using it. And so that's sort of what happened initially. Is I'm like, okay, that's great, Paul, and I'd love to be able to do that, but I don't know if that's going to work for me. But you just got to do it, and so I did it, and the very first one worked.
I tried to set the bar high at 70% conversion, and I guess you did your very first one today, and you're 1 for 1, so you're currently beating me at, I think the math is 100% conversion.
100%.
And I appreciate that you shared the conversation with me, just so that I can listen in, and just see if there was any opportunities to do it differently, what worked, et cetera. And of course, I listened into it, and I thought you nailed it. Just my guess from having listened to it was that the guy was going to schedule. There was no question in my mind that he would schedule.
He was a good prospect.
Yeah.
So yeah. He was a good, he probably would have scheduled anyway, but I think the $99, he's got skin in the game now. So he's more committed now than if he didn't pull out his credit card.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
it just speeds up the sales process,
Yeah.
right? You've
Yeah.
already, I mean, once someone gives you money, even as the form of deposit, now it's no, now the relationship has been transformed into a new form, which is much more beneficial to both parties, I think.
Yeah, this is freaking cool. This is good stuff.
So after having done just one so far today, literally, kind of just, and seeing how quickly they did it, because also, you gave them the calendar link, you walked them through a couple things, you didn't, force him to schedule there. You gave him the link and said, here's where you go next to schedule my calendar. And
yeah, that's
and,
that to me, that's the weird part, because I feel like I need to get somebody to do that right away, but leaving it in their court doesn't feel, it just doesn't give me a good feeling. Like, maybe he's just going to forget about this. He's not going to look at it, but obviously he didn't. He did look at it and he did schedule. So
and within a couple hours, he took that.
Not even that, like an hour.
Yeah. So just kind of, having your initial success, so congratulations, and just kind of thinking about this going forward, what is your, I mean, obviously you'll need to do it some more times, but what is your initial thoughts or, going forward?
I'm excited to use it with everybody, because I mean, either they're going to comply with my new process, or, they can,
or they're dead to you.
They can leave. Yeah, they can move on and I move on, and, I don't waste my time.
Yeah, no, and I'm excited to hear how, not just you getting this done, because I think I think you'll be blown away by how easy it is to get people to do it. But I think where the real value in is in how much better quality of prospect the person's going to be that goes through this process, and how much easier you're going to close business.
Yeah, no, what I'm excited about, just like you said, is it changes the dynamic of the relationship. Now this, this guy or whomever is going to be, pulling out their credit card, they're taking this very seriously.
Yeah. Now, completely separate topic. Since I have you on camera, I want to ask about, now you've mentioned that you had a pretty impressive prospect that came through LinkedIn. I think he runs a medical healthcare practice, and you brought in some big guns. Can you just kind of give us an overview of that?
Yeah, this guy, he's out of San Jose, and he and his partner have a medical group, and I'm not exactly sure what they do, but these two, it's a guy and a girl, and we met with both of them, and both of these people were like super, I mean, hugely successful people. So I got Matt Zagula and Rao Garuda involved, and these guys were just epic on this call. I mean, they were super impressive. But we're talking huge numbers. I mean, this guy believes that based on what his accountants are telling him, that that they're looking at a valuation of their business of like $500 million right now. So it's just a huge opportunity, and he's on board to learn what Matt and Rao can do for him.
Yeah.
And so we're moving forward on this right now. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Huge. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate all your insights. Any final thoughts before we end this call?
Nope. I got another one of your leads to call in 15 minutes, and I'm looking forward to doing it again.
All right. Well, I will be very happy. It's like I started the bar at 70%. If you surpass it, I'll gladly defer, the title to you.
Right on.
All right.